In an ongoing response to tensions in the West Bank, US President Joe Biden has extended an emergency sanctions order against Israeli settlers for another 12 months.
President Biden and Secretary Blinken have been clear that the levels of violence we have seen in the West Bank over the past few months are unacceptable. This includes unprecedented levels of violence by Israeli extremist settlers targeting Palestinians and their property, as well as violence by Palestinian extremist militants against Israeli civilians. U.S. authority to impose financial sanctions against foreign persons engaged in actions that threaten the peace, security, or stability of the West Bank.
This move targets extremist secular groups and individuals, accusing them of escalating violence and displacement in the occupied territories. The Biden administration has been critical of the situation, citing intolerable levels of violence, forced displacement, and property destruction. Meanwhile, in Gaza, the UN is sounding alarms over a worsening humanitarian crisis. According to the UN's humanitarian agency, OCHA, just 446 patients have been evacuated from Gaza since Israeli forces closed the Rafah crossing in May 2023. Leaving thousands in urgent need of medical care. With more than 12,000 people requiring evacuation, OCHA warns that essential water, sanitation, and health facilities are nearing collapse due to severe fuel shortages, further complicating the dire conditions for displaced populations. In addition to water shortages, Gaza's health facilities are under threat, with 75 dialysis machines facing shutdown across the strip, impacting hundreds of kidney patients. These shortages, exacerbated by Israel's blockade and looting by armed groups, continue to undermine relief efforts in the region. In the midst of the ongoing violence, at least 13 people were killed in an overnight Israeli airstrike on a home in Gaza's Deir, el-Balah, adding to the mounting casualties. Since the conflict began in October 2023, more than 46,000 Palestinians have been killed, with many others injured in continued Israeli airstrikes. Back in Israel, tensions over a potential ceasefire remain high. Thousands gathered in Tel Aviv in support of a ceasefire, calling for peace and the release of captives. However, hardline groups in Jerusalem are adamantly a proposed deal, urging the Israeli government to continue the military campaign. The division highlights the internal challenges Israel faces as it grapples with its approach to Gaza and the broader conflict.